going on, guys? Get this up and running.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night at Hickory Tavern. In a few minutes, we'll be getting started with our GenX era trivia. Now, if you haven't played before, the idea is to go back in a time that doesn't really exist anymore. The concept of having to know how to read a map, how to use a phone book in order to find out somebody's phone number, and an era when the best adults would do to try to keep children from using drugs was to simply tell them to just say no. That was the entire program. That was the war on drugs. And if children should end up missing, well, then the best thing they could think of then was to put their faces on a milk carton. Because even if the milk carton didn't help the kid get found, at the very least it would become a cautionary tale for the rest of us staring at that face as we ate our Fruit Loops. So we're going to get started in just a little bit. 4 rounds, 10 questions per round. Go ahead and number each sheet 1 through 10. Put a name at the top, and we'll get started shortly.
What's going on, guys? Good to see everybody. Tom, hello. Justin, hello. Nancy, good to see you. Helen, hello. I'll be right back. Marie, how are you? Justin, I'm right here. It's a little bit of an AOL chat room vibe when we do this for trivia night because I got a bunch of people out here to deal with, and yet we've got a lot of moderators that'll keep the show going in here. So I'll be back and forth in and out, but at all times you should be able to hear me. Hey, Jebediah. Hi, Nancy. John Mullet, good to see you. JTR, always a pleasure, man. Good night, guys. What's that? Down here. No, I didn't give up on the Cubbies. Back and forth. I mean, I think it's done. I mean, internally, I know the drill. It's not the first time. What's going on, Red? Good to see you. But yeah, the Cubbies hurt me. Yeah, I did know about Bonnie Tyler. And then Corey Feldman was hospitalized as well, hopefully doing better. Thank you, X-Ray, although I assume that's being facetious. Jack, I promise you, we've got a lot of them done, about 8 years done. By the time we finish, I think we'll have probably every year from 1965 to 2000 represented. Because for me, that's where we lived, right? Born in 65, late 60s, all of the 70s, 80s, youngest Gen Xers were still young throughout the 90s, so we'll hit them all. What's going on, Johnny? Good to see you. Toronto in the house, archive recovered. Thank you for popping in. 1980 for CP 2025. But yeah, we've got a bunch of the years done. They continue to do well. I just did 1992. And the lesson learned is the world's a crazy place today. I get it. But I just want especially younger people to realize it's always been a crazy place. And a little bit of perspective goes a long way. My daughter just did her band performance at the school of the Valentine School of Music that she's at, and one of the songs that they did was a Pat Benatar song, which I thought was really cool. They also did a song from Rush. They did Outfield, and I will tell you, 95% of the bands, there were 7 of them there. Vale, how are you? All of them were doing music from our generation. Record Hound, good to see you, my friend. Spidey Jacks, hello. Keanu Reeves is completely believable as an FBI agent. Couldn't agree more, dude. Dude, I got to work with the FBI. Coffee Tears, hi. Yeah, it's not really the golden oldies, though. They don't look at it that way. They really do look at it as kind of current. So let's get started.
All right, welcome again. We're just about ready to start. If there's anybody else that wants to play that doesn't have pen and paper and would like to join, speak now or, forever hold your peace, that sort of thing. But it looks like we're all good. All right. Now, round 1 is going to be board games. Now, the cool thing about being Generation X is we weren't allowed to be bored, B-O-R-E-D, because if our parents heard we were bored, then we got chores. We were put to work. We either had to be playing outside or sitting quietly inside, and if we weren't, we were put to work. And a lot of the toys we played with, a lot of the games we played with were simple. They were basic. We're a generation that made games out of refuse. We played kick the can because we found garbage in the street and said, okay, that needs rules. So, very basic, but I gotta tell you, board games were something a lot of us really loved. And it's really cool to see the board games that we played as kids. A lot of them are still around today. So our first round is going to be all about the board games we played, and here we go. Question number 1. What board game featured the patented, famous Pop-O-Matic bubble in the center of the board game? What board game featured a patented Pop-O-Matic popper bubble in the middle of the board game? Looking for the name of the board game itself. I can hear it and feel it. It was very cool. We broke ours instantly because 3 boys, and that's what we did. Question number 2. In the game of life, assuming you weren't given a second car, what is the maximum number of children you could have? In the game of life, assuming you didn't have a second car following you around, what is the maximum number of children you could have? I remember in that game you always had 2 choices. You could go around the hill and go to college, or skip college and get paid right away. And in that game, college was a sucker bet. You always made more money and got further if you, because I made college and I got teacher, which is how I learned not to be a teacher, because the game of life told you it's an ambition of love, not of money. How many kids could you have? And the funny thing about the game of life is the more kids you had, the more money you made. That was a lie. Question number 3. In Monopoly, what was the least expensive property you could buy? Now, we all know Boardwalk was the most expensive. But what was the least expensive spot on the board? I will tell you, it cost $60 to buy, and rent was $2 if someone landed on it. Not exactly the high rent district. What was the least expensive property you could buy? I was a slumlord. I bought it every time I landed on it. And I wanted my $2. Number 4. What board game involved rolling dice to attack, collecting countries and armies, and featured a territory called Kamchatka? And it also featured one of my brothers throwing the board over at one point, claiming somehow the dice were cheating. What game featured dice, getting countries, rolling the dice to attack, and one of the countries on the board was named Kamchatka? Number 5, in Battleship, which ship required 5 hits to sink? And although the commercial says you sunk my battleship, this wasn't the battleship. Which ship on the board needed 5 hits in order to sink it? Now, I was really happy when electronic Battleship came along, because if you were a kid in the 70s and you played Battleship, you cheated. B5, nope, you missed. I didn't miss. I see you moving the board around. No, you missed. Every single one of us cheated. Which ship required 5 hits to sink it?
Nice, Val. Sorry about that, Justin.
Number 6. This board game tested our knowledge. Smart Person's board game. What board game tested your knowledge and used colored wedges as scorekeepers? You had a little wheel, and you put your little colored wedges in the wheel. If you answered the question right, you got a wedge. If you didn't, you got a wedgie. What's the name of the game? It's kind of ironic given what it is we're playing right now.
You got it, Stacy.
Number 7, which game challenged players to remove body parts without setting off a buzzer? You had to take butterflies out of a stomach, you had to remove a funny bone. And the irony is, when we played this particular game, and this is an absolute truth, it came with a D battery. You hit the side with the metal tweezer, you knew it. Today it's a AA. And if that doesn't tell you everything about anything you need to know, ours was literally juvenile electric shock therapy. Looks like everybody's caught up. Question number 8. In Scrabble, how many points is the letter Q worth? Maddie, stop giving everyone the answers. Nobody look at the man at the end of the bar. Because as soon as you trust him, he'll give you the wrong answer. How many points is the letter Q worth? Scrabble is the reason I know 4 words that have a Q without a U. Question number 9. One of the most annoying commercials in history would show children apologizing when they hit your piece and sent you all the way back to the beginning. But they didn't apologize necessarily. They used the name that is actually the name of the game. What game did people apologize if they hit your piece and sent you all the way back to the beginning? And I'm sorry if that one's difficult, but we'll see. This is round 1 after all, so it should be fairly easy. All right, and then number 10. In the board game Clue, which suspect was identified by the color yellow? So we had Miss Scarlet, that was red. You had Professor Plum, who was purple. What character, suspect, was signified by the color yellow? And that's 10. And that's the way we play. Give me a moment. I'll let you guys finish up. If you didn't hear a question, I can repeat it when I come around. Otherwise, we'll get tabulated, see where we stand, and move on to round 2.
You guys seem to be doing all right, but again, round 1 should be pretty easy. All right,
We'll be back to Robert Palmer in the middle. First round, very competitive, and I will say, no perfect scores, which generally doesn't happen. Everybody missed something, but before we figure out who went where, let's go over some answers. Number 1, which board game featured the famous Pop-O-Matic? That would be Trouble. Trouble had the popper in the middle. Number 2, in the game of life without a second car, you were allowed 4 children, none of which were wearing seatbelts. You just popped the 4 in the back behind the drivers and called it a day. Number 3 got a bunch of you. Baltic Avenue, not a good place to live. However, it was heads and shoulders above Mediterranean Avenue, which was the other purple, and that was the one that was $2 rent district. Number 4, Risk was the game featuring Kamchatka and fighting with dice. Number 5, the aircraft carrier needed 5 hits to sink it. Trivial Pursuit used the pie wedges to keep score. Operation Shocked Us, 10 points for a Q. Colonel Mustard was yellow, and Sorry was the game where you got sent all the way back. So in first place, we have a tie between Salen's Lot, Fantastic Four, and Moo Point, all sitting with 9. Right behind, we've got Lori Dawson and Smarty Pines at 8. A bunch of y'all at 7 and 8. So everybody's still in it as we move on to round 2. In round 2, people have been asking for it, so we're doing sports.
Yeah!
Easy. I don't know you're behind me.
I'm a champion.
All right. Number 1 in the sport of golf. Not really a sport, but you know. Who was nicknamed the Golden Bear? I had no idea that was his nickname. The Golden Bear.
I would have called him half of the day, half my son.
Yeah. The Golden Bear. Who was nicknamed the Golden Bear? Number 2, known for having his own candy bar, he was also called Mr. October. Which baseball player was known as Mr. October? And as I said, he also had a candy bar. I don't remember if it was good.
They're still out there.
They can't be.
You can still get a candy.
You
You
can.
can still get it.
Really? I gotta find
That's a
one.
crazy place.
Well, it's only fair. You can still get a Baby Ruth, and he hasn't been around forever. All right, number 3, going to NBA, go Knicks. Which NBA player wore the number 33 for the Boston Celtics?
Oh, come on.
That could have made it easier. It could have been 23 for the Bulls. Which NBA player wore number 33 for the Boston Celtics? And he looked exactly like his name. No shouting out. If you want to play, write it down. You could be wrong. Probably not. You shout out the answer, I'll make you put your gum on the end of your nose and stand in front of the wall. That's what Mrs. Bradbury did to me. Number 4, which NFL team played in 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the 1990s and lost every single one?
There's a village in Africa that won 4 in a row.
Everyone, 4 in a row. Wide right. Stole my soul. Number 5. Still hurts. What tennis star was famous for his on-court shenanigans, his outbursts, and smashing rackets? Which tennis star was famous for his outbursts, arguing with the referee, smashing his racket?
Knicks fan.
That's how cool the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s were. Even tennis had like explosive personalities. Number 6, which NASCAR driver was known as the Intimidator?
I know it.
I would hope. We're kind of in the backyard here. Which NASCAR driver was known as the Intimidator? Number 7, going way back. What football coach is famous for having said winning isn't everything, it's the only thing? Which famous football coach, maybe the most famous football coach, is known as saying winning isn't everything, it's the only thing? In an era long before participation trophies, before, letting kids know that as long as they did their best, it's okay, losing meant you should cry. Just don't let anyone see you cry. Because then they'll give you something to cry about. Yeah, exactly. Question number 8. Which gymnast scored the first perfect 10 in Olympic history coming out of Romania in 1976? Which gymnast from Romania scored the first perfect 10 in gymnastics in Olympic history?
There she is.
1976.
Right there. Enjoy, everyone. Soak it in.
I don't know, it seems like we even knew more Olympic people. Like, when's the last time a little girl patterned her hair after an Olympian? But all you women had Dorothy Hamill haircuts, even though none of you liked it. You liked it on Dorothy. You came home crying when your mother gave it to you. Spelling does not count. Not on this one anyway. As long as I can tell what you're trying to say. If you spell it, I don't know, completely wrong, then it's not going to work. All right, question number 9. What baseball player was known as Charlie Hustle? What baseball player was known as Charlie Hustle? Does that mean hustle is in gambling?
I mean,
Did they possibly put it in there? Should be in the Hall of Fame.
yes, 100%.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
300%.
And then finally, number 10. Which ear-biting boxer lost to Buster Douglas in one of the biggest upsets in sports history back in 1990? Which carnivorous ear-biting boxer, he didn't bite Buster's ear, but still, lost to Buster Douglas in one of the biggest upsets in sports history back in 1990? 36 years ago.
In Tokyo.
I don't see how it's possible. I'm still 28. How can it? Math just doesn't work anymore. So listen, that's 10. 2 more rounds to go. Tight game. We'll see how you all did. I'll be around to collect, and we'll move on. All right, halfway done, and it is still very tight. Cannot shine a flashlight between some of these teams. But before we find out who did what, let's find out what was right. And number 1, Jack Nicklaus apparently was called the Golden Bear. I had no idea, and I don't think I want to know why. Number 2, Reggie Jackson was the baseball player known as Mr. October. And if you didn't know it, there was a Reggie bar. It was very popular when I was younger. Larry Bird was number 33 and also looked very much like his name. The man looked like a bird. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Okay, come back.
Number 5, what tennis star was famous for his outbursts? John McEnroe. Dale Earnhardt was our driver. Vince Lombardi of the Lombardi Trophy was the one that said winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Nadia Comaneci was the Romanian superstar that got a perfect 10. Pete Rose was Charlie Hustle. And Mike Tyson lost famously to Buster Douglas back in 1990, making Vegas a whole lot of money. So, where are we? Well, in first place, nobody moved. Moo Point, Salen's Lot, Fantastic Four coming in 10 points apiece to bring them to 19. Smarty Pints, Bo Lily, Jack and Karen right behind at 17. Omaneers?
Oneaters?
No, it's Omaneers. All right, Omaneers. I thought it said old man ears. I'm like, they're making fun of me? At any rate, right there at 16, the rest aren't too far behind as we move into round 3. Now, round 3, I say it all the time, we watched a lot of television. Yes, we were outside playing. Yes, we were outside riding our bikes. Yes, we were playing hide and seek, murder, kick the can, ghost in the graveyard, freeze tag, every kind of tag known to man, but we also watched a lot of television. We had our favorite shows, we knew what time they started, we had 1 TV, 3 channels, and we loved every second of it. And the proof is we even remember the commercials. So round 3 is all about the commercials.
Yes.
For instance, number 1, which cereal featured Toucan Sam following his nose? Because it always knows. Which cereal featured Toucan Sam as its mascot following his nose? And now the sad thing is all these cereals, when we ate them, they were bright and colorful and had enough sugar in them to put you into a coma for 3 days. They're about to be very, very pale because those colors are going away. Probably a good thing. Number 2, Which product used the slogan, good? Which product used the slogan, good? And I'll tell you why. There's a really good reason why they use that slogan when we go over the answers. Did I forget you guys? Oh, thank you. Question number 3. Which product used the slogan, bet you can't eat just one? Bet you can't eat just one. Guys, have a wonderful night. Just so you know, quitters never win, winners never quit. Bet you can't eat just one. Number 4, beer commercials were pretty cool back then. And here's one. Which beer company told us that if you've got the time, we've got the beer? If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Kelvin. For you. You want to lick my lid? Lick it.
No, I'm good.
Lick it. You want to lick my lid?
Oh my God, it's
Lick the lid.
No, get out.
Got it.
Bye, guys. Number 5, if you wore short shorts, what product did the commercial suggest you need?
The gym. A gym membership.
If you wore short shorts, which product did the commercial suggest you use? It was the 70s after all. I'm not explaining that joke. Number 6, back to beer. Which beer featured very kid-friendly Spuds MacKenzie as its mascot?
Oh, yeah.
Which beer featured Spuds MacKenzie as its mascot? Now be careful, it was a specific beer, not a brand. Very kid-friendly. I remember as a kid that we had Spuds MacKenzie posters. It was marketed at us, and I don't know why, because I didn't drink before I was 21.
Yeah, right.
Shh, my daughter watches on YouTube. Number 7. What song was famously featured in the California Raisins commercials? I had a follower send me all the little figurines. I have about 30 of them now. Playing like the saxophone, and it's pretty cool. What song was famously featured in the California Raisins commercials? The better question would be, why did Raisins need a commercial? Well, but seriously, when's the last time you saw a peach commercial or a pear commercial? Prunes, and they actually do something.
Because there's no toys anymore.
I guess.
You need the toys first, then you get the cartoon.
That makes sense. Number 8. According to Reese's commercials, you got your what stuck in my what? There's a reason I said according to Reese's. According to Reese's commercials, and get the order right here, you got your what stuck in my what?
No, you got your what stuck in my what.
It's your what stuck in my what.
It's your what.
The question is, why are you walking down the street carrying your what, and then mine ends up in your what?
You know what? Yeah.
There's only one way according to the commercial, though.
That.
Listen, what do I always say? My answer's final, whether I'm right, wrong, or otherwise, right? So I got an idea in my mind. It's up to you to match it. Number 9. What brand of mustard asked customers, pardon me, would you have any blank? Just picture the scene. A limousine, a very expensive Rolls Royce, pulls up to another very expensive car, and he asks, pardon me, sir, do you have any? I think I'm rich because I've got some in my refrigerator at home.
Ooh, fancy.
I always thought that being rich meant you had this mustard, and then, what is it, Taster's Choice International Coffees? I thought you had to be like so rich to have that in your house. We never had that. We had Sanka. Number 10, finally, which fast food chain featured a character named the Hamburglar? And if you watch the 70s era commercials, kids lost sleep over the way they made this character look. Him and Chuck E. Cheese cost me a lot of sleep. So that's 10. Round 3, finishing up with commercials. Number 5 was if you wore short shorts, what product did you need? And I'm not speaking to you specifically. I'm praying it's not the case. We'll be back. Square. All right. Whoa, it doesn't want to stop. How about that? All right, still hanging tough. It's a different song. But let's figure out who's where after we give some answers. So number 1, I think everybody got Toucan Sam with Fruit Loops. Number 2, good, Campbell's Soup. Now, the trivia within the trivia is their slogan used to be soup is good food. And they got sued and weren't allowed to continue to use that because that was a claim that couldn't be substantiated. So because they couldn't speak to the health of their product, they changed it from soup is good food to good. Number 3, Lay's potato chips, but you can't eat just one. Number 4, if you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer. Number 5, if you wear short shorts, Nair for short shorts. I figured Ron got that one. The shorts are looking kind of short there, Ron. Number 6, Bud Light featured Spuds McKenzie. Number 7, I heard it through the grapevine. Not only was it the song, it was actually the dance the Raisins did too, was the grapevine. Number 8, you got your chocolate stuck in my peanut butter. And I still find those commercials hilarious because the girl's just walking down the street with a gigantic jar of peanut butter and she's just eating it with her fingers because, you know, that's what we all did back then. Number 9, do you have any Grey Poupon? And number 10, the Hamburglar was McDonald's. Still in first place, still tied, Moo Points, Salem's Lot, and Fantastic Four, 29 points. Sticking close behind, Smarty Pints at 27, Jack and Karen at 26. Lori, not too far behind. You're doing all right. No participation trophy in your future, but you know, we'll see what happens with round 4 because we all know this gets a little tougher. See if we can split people up a little bit and see how we do because round 4 is all about news ripped from the headlines. Now, I do a whole series on my videos, and the younger kids, I hope, get this message because today, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, I don't care where you stand politically, we all think it's a crazy world. It's just ridiculous the world we live in. But I want to remind people the world has always been more than a little bit crazy. No matter what year you look at, there's plenty of crazy things going on. And some of them, some more crazy than others, we'll talk about right here. Starting with number 1, Wanda Holloway. I don't know if that name means anything to anyone, but back in the 90s, she became infamous and later convicted for putting out a hit to eliminate her daughter's rival in what high school sports? Back in 1991, high school sports were so competitive that a mom put out a hit on another mom in order to secure a spot for her daughter. Now, my daughter plays volleyball, and it's very competitive, so I'm going to keep an eye on my wife. What was the sport? Number 2, following the Rodney King verdict in 1992, Los Angeles almost literally erupted in riots. And during the unrest, Rodney King himself made a television appeal and famously asked a question we all should ask ourselves. I need you to ask the question. What did Rodney King say? And because we're tied up at the top, it's got to be exact. Rodney King's famous
Oh,
quote.
here, no, it's fine. Yeah.
Number 3, name the oil tanker that ran aground in Alaska in 1989 and spilled, get this, approximately 11 million gallons of crude oil. Name the tanker, the oil tanker, that ran aground in Alaska in 1989, spilling 11 million gallons of oil. Then we learned Dawn dishwashing detergent was really good stuff.
Yeah.
Number 4, ironically, it was known as one of the largest missteps in marketing, but at the end of the day, it actually gained them market share when they reintroduced classic Coke. But what I'm asking is, what year did Coca-Cola introduce new Coke? So the backstory is they were losing ground to Pepsi. They spent millions of dollars testing to find out what people liked, and then gave people exactly what it was they said they liked. And people hated it. Which is a lesson learned. Don't give people what they want, give them what they think they want. And don't talk about it. So what year did they come out with new Coke? I'll give you a clue, it was the 1900s.
The late 1900s.
Number 5, in 1993, a deadly E. coli outbreak linked to what restaurant sickened more than 700 people and killed 4 children? What was the fast food chain involved? And unbelievably, the chain still exists today. You think you make 70 people sick and kill 4 children, that's pretty much the end, but nope. Apparently the 90s were a little bit more forgiving than that. Number 6, we're also looking for a year. What year was the first test tube baby, Louise Brown, born? Some of these are going to be a little more than a guess, but if somebody gets it, it might put them in the lead. First test tube baby. Somebody Google, is she still around? I mean, she has to be, right? 78? I hope. She's got to be old, but something. Let's see. Louise Brown. So, sir, what year was the world's first test tube baby, Louise Brown, born? Also in the 1900s. And since we talked about test tube babies, it's only fair to move on to cloning. In 1996, what sheep became the first mammal supposedly successfully cloned from an adult cell? So in 1996, there was a very famous animal, a sheep, that was the first cloned animal. What was her name? It was 30 years ago? Wow. All right, in 1991, what basketball superstar shocked the sports world by announcing he had HIV and would immediately retire from the NBA? 1991. Proof positive that no matter what you've got, if you've got enough money to throw at it, you can survive when a whole lot of other people didn't.
You had the right name, too.
Magic? Dude, that's the question.
So you had the right name, that's what I said.
That's all right, I don't think anybody would have missed that anyway. Question number 9. Heidi Fleiss. Heidi Fleiss became known throughout infamy after operating a very high-profile escort service that allegedly involved numerous celebrities. What was her nickname? Heidi Fleiss became known as what after operating a high-profile escort agency? There were a lot of people that weren't sleeping when she went to court. Stayed up real late, wondering if she was going to share her little black book, which to date she hasn't. What was her nickname? And then finally, in 1989, what sporting event was interrupted by the Loma Prieta earthquake just minutes before it was scheduled to begin? Tell you what, it was a World Series. I need you to tell me which two teams were playing. 1989 World Series interrupted moments before it was going to begin by an earthquake. Name the two teams that were playing. And that is 10. I'll be around. All right, that was a tough round, and we do have the tie is broken. There is no tie, so we have a clear first and a clear second place winner. So, before we find that out, let's go over some answers. And I just lost my cheat sheet. That's not good. Give me one moment. Yeah, you keep doing that. Okay. Question number one was Wanda Holloway. She was known as the cheerleader mom because she literally took out a hit on a girl's mother that was a rival for her spot on the cheerleading team. Cheerleading was brutal back then. Number two, I remember Rodney King saying, "Can't we all just get along?"
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't say that.
What?
He literally said, "Can we all get along?" But all of us remember the "can't we all just get along?" and we're all remembering it wrong because what he said was, "Can we all get along?" Close enough, but we all remember it wrong. Exxon Valdez, a lot of you remembered. 1985 for New Coke. Jack in the Box poisoned people left and right. 1978, we got our first test tube baby. Dolly was the sheep that was cloned. Magic Johnson came down with HIV and retired. Heidi Fleiss was the Hollywood Madam. Not real original there. And the World Series game was the Battle of the Bay. It was between the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants. So, doing very well today. We had Jack and Karen at 34 points. You guys did awesome. You didn't win, but you did awesome. Fantastic Four. You guys are fantastic. Losers. You didn't win. You also got 34. Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot, how are you guys doing over there? You guys crumble every last round. Like a dominoes, like Legos just collapsing. You also did not win. So that brings us to Smarty Pints. Win. In first place today, we've got Moo Point, 37 points. And our first loser, and in second place, Bo Lily, 36. So you guys did awesome. Listen, it's not about who wins or loses. Yeah, it actually is. But I hope you all had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We do.
Domino's best deal ever.
Everyone's gearing up for the championship race, and the fans are going crazy, and it's running for a reason. And so that's a good thing. Anytime you're playing with somebody who's judges at the obviously there's a alliance. Can't bring it in the next one. When he is doing consistently and the confidence that gives everybody else, we talk this with messing about others out there, be able to go, okay, I can do my job because I can go with that big man at some point is going to put the ball in the net. So all that work that you're making on this whole format is going to pay off, and that's the trade-off within a team and negotiation that happens within a team setting. So it's nice to have not all teams have it. And this is also interesting to see him having success here, because oftentimes we associate with Man City where he's surrounded by a whole lot of great players. That's not the case here, but he's doing it justice.
Others, to set through, ready for anything. Finds outfitted, that's strong support. And Tom's looking to counter-attack. Every goal is stopped with an assist.
Running your first 5K? Hard. His first day behind the wheel? Bumpy. Choosing a name for your first. Not easy. Progressive understands first times can be challenging. It's why we created the Up Payment Program. Down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. Because first times are easy with a little help. Learn more at progressive.com/open the house. Get special offers on select Lexus TX models.
the community. Through thoughtful and engaging conversations that turn moments like these into lifelong connections. We don't just sell luxury vehicles, we create experiences. Within our one-stop shop, a world of refined life.
All right, kids. Wow, that was a full house tonight. Appreciate you guys. I hope everybody had a good time. Glitch in the Matrix. As you can tell by the sheets, we had a lot of people playing. Thought the rapture happened? No, I'm still here. Well, actually, that could be proof of the rapture because I probably still would be here. The one blacked out, huh? About 5 minutes early, Linda, because people were here, and unfortunately, we had to get started so as not lose the momentum. And that's honestly the way it goes. They pay me to be here. I got to do it when they say to do it. Blacked out for a bit. That is insane. I wasn't 15 minutes early. We literally started at 5 minutes to 7. I logged in 15 minutes early. We didn't start playing until 5 minutes to 7. Well, let me start cleaning up my stuff. I'll give you guys last call on this. And I'll get home with my wife. It is our 24-year anniversary, so I want to get out when I can. Yes, Scott Norwood would be left behind. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. Kristen West, good to see you. Thank you.
The Fox Nation America 250 sale. Sign up for only $17.76 a year.
Whoa, that was fast. You know what else is fast? Getting an online restaurant, gas center, enter your address and see what that costs before we even get there.
With Bliss Plumbing, we take care of the stress from your plumbing nightmares. From a little leaky faucet to water meter replacements and blocked sewer lines. So don't let the problem get as bad as this. Instead, save the hassle and get Bliss. Go to plumbingbliss.com to see how Bliss Plumbing has helped thousands in the Charlotte area find their bliss.
This summer, the cup is bigger than ever, and DraftKings has you covered wherever you live. Every match, every goal, every iconic celebration that gets blown out of proportion by the international media. Pinkies up.
New DraftKings customers spend $5 and get $200 in total bonuses and get the game nationwide with DraftKings. Now live in all 50 states. The crown is yours.
The FIFA World Cup is taking over Queen City News. The WNBA's rising hero will be unbiased, but the news never stops. Queen City News will continue to produce the most popular local news in Charlotte, even when we're not on TV. You can find us anytime on Queen City News Plus under Smart TV, YouTube, Facebook, QCNews.com, and the Queen City News mobile app. So cheer on that U.S. Men's national team and keep watching your favorite news team.
The impossible dream to fight the unbeatable foe, to reach unreachable soul.
Would you like a cupcake?
He's going to start in goal for Argentina. Christian Romero anchoring the back line. Plenty of pocket up midfield. Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez in there. First one is always on Lionel Messi. He makes his record 27th World Cup appearance, hoping to pick up where he met Darling Qatar. Messi scored 7 times in the last World Cup, including 2 in the final win over France. Eddie Martinez came up in, you'll remember, in that final, making arguably the greatest stop in World Cup history to deny Ronald Kotrides late in extra time. How much will Algeria, though, trust him today as he takes the moment there? Pensive over the tunnel. Desert Foxes have looted and Zinedine selling goals. He specialises from France to Algeria last September. Manchester City's running the highest mark of the battle. This is John Strong and Stu Oliver.
Remember, it's like if there was a time Lionel Messi couldn't win anything with Argentina, because over the last 5 years, Lionel Messi has won everything with Argentina. But this is the thing I figured out, and I love Turkey to get this.
It's a huge credit to Lionel Scaloni to be able to find a rhythm and also feature the greatest player that has played the game, but still make this a very good team. It's been about the collective. The supporting cast was so incredibly important on that run to winning in Qatar in the World Cup. It wasn't just Messi. Yes, he scored a ton of goals. Yes, he scored throughout the knockout stages. But without the defense, without everybody working in unison, this culture, the intensity that they play with in every single game, that has been what has made this team successful. The other part, which we experienced just here in warm-ups, are the fans. That is the 12th man in Qatar. It is the 12th man once again in Buenos Aires, Missouri. What it feels like here today, they will be loud, they will be proud, and hoping their team can go back to back.
And for Northern Argentina and their main man, Alex Aljo was with us here in Kansas City as well.
Yes, 6 players that started the 2022 World Cup final also start tonight, and the name that jumps off the team sheet is, of course, Lionel Messi. He's scored twice. The only other time that Argentina faced Algeria, that was back in 2007, and now, almost 2 decades later, he plays his 200th match for Argentina, hoping to join an exclusive group of players that includes Brazilian legend Pelé, that won back-to-back World Cups. And there is Messi mania everywhere you look. I've seen thousands of Messi shirts here in Kansas City. Supporters have been waiting outside the team hotel, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. He even came up to his bedroom window at one point to give them a wave. And one thing is for sure, he is going to want to put a show on for them tonight here in the Kansas sunshine. Alex, thank you, Argentina, for having Messi. And they've got a great start, anyway. They lost their 2022 opener to Saudi Arabia. Little Messi approaching the end of a storybook career, which is taken in all over the world. And coming up next, the Tom Ronaldo pays a visit to the city where the Messi legend began.
FIFA World Cup 2026 today on Fox is presented by Google. Today, we're going to watch some iconic superstars.
What do you guys want in your votes? Really, I want to install fast.
And it needs to have a good warranty.
Let me show you why I love 54. They bring the chauffeur right to you and handle everything about the install. So, are you guys ready for your new floors?
I love this.
Go to 54.com today.
When doubt surrounds you, picture of tomorrow. Hope from others can light the way forward. Your whole team will keep focused on what's next. Devoted to medicine that envisions the future, so you can do the same. The power of second chances is here at Hickory Healthcare. And its beauty shines brightest when you bring it home.
Healthcare costs can be stressful.
How much?
It's time for something different. So we have tools that compare costs between procedures and search for cheaper prescriptions.
That sounds nice.
Blue Cross North Carolina, starting with you.
When you're in business, you own every decision. Meetings on the move. Window seat for office. Backyard in. Business contact gets back. Checks out pounds for business.
We invited passionate soccer fans to push these on vehicles to the limit, just like they do with their teams. Further proof that any sort of is tested and trusted by fans first.
Get 0% APR on self-harm trips from all Automatic Buyers or get $25 customer cash on the road platinum. Most kids can't wait for summer. But not all of them. One in 5 children are left hungry when school's out. But together, we can change that. Help us put more meals on more tables in your community, all summer long. With Food Lion Feeds.
It's turning on. Hey, Thomas, straight this way. Great, it's going too long.
Like that on the floor, just like you wouldn't have anyone but Morgan and Morgan handle your injury case. Morgan and Morgan.
Love home projects. Going to the hardware store. Getting your contractor to show up. They want to run in new floors. Look at the experts. I'm 50 floor. They brought the showroom to me and finished the job in just one day. Go to 50floor.com today. Many fans in Kansas City turned out to see the man that's been on his around to get a glimpse of Lionel Messi as he makes his way out with the rest of the Argentina team. The world champions on their way out to warm up ahead of this one against Algeria. Let's go pitch up to our tour now.
Just think of us. Here in the field of Kansas City. Missouri Argentina is the third largest city in the country. The home infantry feels like a large portion of the team's here in this stadium right now. It also happens to be the place where Messi was born and raised. And even though we left out the young teenager, I don't know if you can say the same thing. Just ask the people who live there.
All right, you all. I am out, heading home for an anniversary dinner. See you next time, guys. Thank you so much. Good night. Let's go, Bills. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Linda. Good night, all. See you guys all on Sunday. Peace.